Hi students, yesterday the CMAT results were announced, and along with the results something shocking was also, we all got to know about it, which is that the number of students who are appearing for this examination are dropping dramatically as far as MBA is concerned. You would all know that when the CAT exam actually happened, there was a 12% drop in the number of test takers for the CAT examination. What was 2.93 lakh last year had become 2.58 lakhs this year. So a 35,000 drop, which is about 12% drop, is what we noticed. And we thought 12% is what we are likely to stay with. But that doesn't seem to be the case. Yesterday when the CMAT results were announced, the numbers that came out of the number of test takers is shocking. Because last year, the number of test takers for CMAT examination was 63,145, 63,145. This year, it is 41,872. That's a 34% drop. This kind of a drop you've never seen ever. You typically see a 5%, 10% drop up and down depending on how things move. But if 34% drop for a particular examination where all the ACT institutions are accepting this score is for me very, very shocking. It's never happened earlier. And you must remember, CMAT is an examination that is conducted by ACT, which is a regulatory body for all PGDM courses in the country. And the best of the institutions that we have in the country, by the way, IIMs were earlier PGDM institutions also, right? And later they became MBA granting because they were granted the university status. But in this particular case, all the PGM courses that are offered anywhere in the country, the CMAT is a common examination that you go with. And when you see the numbers here, it is very, very shocking because from 63,000 to 41,872 is a dramatic fall, because even if you look at the previous years, it's never been such a number that you've seen with. It was 58,000, 65,000, 63,000, and now suddenly it's coming down to 41,872. So this seems to be a very, very, serious case. And why is the fall in MBA is something that we still need to understand, because there's been a lot of conversation of relevance of MBA, whether we should do an MBA. Even I have done a lot of content on why after a point in time it is meaningless for you to do an MBA. If you get into a good institution, you must do an MBA. If you don't get into a good institution, you should not do an MBA. In fact, I've thrown data also at you of how, up to a level the salary and everything is on. But once you cross the top 150, 200 institutions, the salary is about 4.57 lakh rupees and 2.57 lakh rupees also at times. And the placement percentage drops to about 16-20% for the tier 3, tier 4 B schools. And India has about 5,000 B schools, you must remember that. Every university that is up for salt is also offering an MBA and BBA at this point in time, right? But the important thing that you must know is that there is 34% drop, which means that the tier 1 institutions are likely to not face a problem, but as you keep going down the ladder of tier 2, tier 3, you will see a very serious problem of the institutions even filling in their seats, because the number of test takers or number of candidates aspiring to do an MBA is falling dramatically. CAT, we've seen it. XAT also, I know for a fact that the numbers have fallen. And now I'm seeing CMAT where about 35% drop, 34% drop is what we saw. Just for your information, as I told you, CMAT is an examination which is accepted as a score for all PGDM institutions in the country. But over the past year, a few institutions have come out and said that they will not accept a CMAT score. And that is telling in its own sense, because what it tells you is that these institutions are now moving on from CMAT and only picking up possibly CAT and XAT and maybe GMAT and those kind of things also. Like the better institutions, if you see, Great Lakes Chennai and Great Lakes Gurgaon is no longer accepting CMAT. IMT Ghaziabad and IMT Hyderabad are not accepting CMAT. Goa Institute of Management in Goa is not accepting CMAT. And by the way, all these are PGDM institutions, mind you. MDA Gurgaon and Murshidabad is not accepting CMAT. IMI Delhi, one of the premier institutions in Delhi and all over the country. Same with Goa Institute of Management or MDA and Great Lakes and IMT and all, and XIME Bhubaneswar. So some of the better institutions are not accepting CMAT, and that possibly is the reason why this might have happened, because anyone who was wanting to get here might have gone through that CMAT route, and that they don't need at this point in time, because they might be accepting CAT and GMAT and those kind of things. But very clearly, 34% drop is a dramatic fall, and I have not seen this kind of a fall ever for an entrance examination of this nature. Now, what are the chances? How do you use your CMAT score? Of course, there is a college predictor or a pathfinder we have as a product. Please input your percentile and it will tell you what colleges are likely to call you for a GDPI, and you can use that to make your own plans, right? But some of the better institutions in Maharashtra For the All India quota, use the CMAT score like Jamnalal Bajaj Institute of Management, which is, in my opinion, we also call it the CEO factory of India, because most of the CEOs in the country come from Jamnalal Bajaj. That accepts a CMAT score. SIMSRI, which is Sydenham Institute of Management, again a very, very good B school in Bombay. By the way, I keep telling people that whenever there is a locational advantage for an institution which is in metros, especially B schools, right? If you're located in Hyderabad, Bombay, Delhi and all, because a lot of companies are around the place, Bangalore, you will easily get a placement because there are many companies which are trying to recruit professionals from there. So if you see this list, you actually see Jamnalal Bajaj, SIMSRI uses CMAT score, KJ Somaya uses CMAT score, Wellinkar, one of the better B schools that you have in the country, in Matunga in Bombay, again uses a CMAT score. MET Institute of Management Mumbai, Pumba, which is Savitribai Phule, Pune University, CMAT score. BIMTech in Greater Noida, which is owned by the Birlas, GD Birla Group if I'm not wrong, also uses the CMAT score. IFMR Graduate School of Business, which is a part of Kriya University, which is in Amravati in Andhra Pradesh, again uses the CMAT score. It's a very, very good university. They actually have a different program, but it's called Kriya University something, but it's IFMR, which is what we're talking of. IMT Nagpur, IMT Hyderabad and Ghaziabad are not accepting it, but IMT Nagpur seems to be accepting it. So that's a slight information for you. XIM is using it, though XIM Bhubaneswar is not using it. SIS College of Management Studies in Mumbai uses it. So a lot of Mumbai institutions that you see it here. This is for the 90 percentile and above is what you should be if you are getting into this kind of a college. But besides that, if you're looking at 80 percentile, if you're getting an 70 to 80 percentile, Jaipur and Delhi uses that. In Noida, NL Dalmia and Mumbai uses 80 percentile, they'll take you. IFM school, which is now called the Jackson School of Management in Bengaluru, uses the CMAT score. Then you have ITM Business School in Navi Mumbai. They have multiple branches also, by the way. They also use it. Delhi School of Business uses it. Indira School of Management in Pune. IEGS Management College in Mumbai, Chetnas Institute in Mumbai. So you will see a lot of Mumbai-based institutes because they're all PGDM institutions, so to say. IES MCRC Mumbai, FIIB Delhi, which is a very good B school again, NDIM in Delhi, Universal Business School in Mumbai, and Bharati Vidyapit in Pune. So all these people also use the CMAT score. Besides that, if you're getting it above 70 percentile and 70 to 80 percentile, you should also look at this, which is Diva Patil in Mumbai. IP Hyderabad is a very, very good institution if you want to look at it. It's a public institution, the fee is moderate and a very good campus also that you have outside of Hyderabad, but very, very good institution. VIPS Delhi uses that. SRM Institute of Technology in Chennai, which is one of the constant colleges of SRM IST or SRM University, is a deemed to be university, uses that. Rajagiri, which is based in Kochi, a very good B school again, uses that. Same with Rajagiri, along with Rajagiri, you also have another college called SCMS, right? They also use the CMAT score. Pune Institute of Business Management, PIBM, what they call it, DS, Delhi School of Business, and Soil Institute, which is in Gurgaon. So all these colleges also use the CMAT score. But more importantly, this year there's likely to be lesser competition at a tier 3 level, tier 2 level, but very extremely high competition at tier 1 level as always. And very clearly 34% drop is something that I've not foreseen. It's happened maybe because a few colleges dropped out. But a similar trend was noticed for CAT examination also, where you actually saw a 12% drop in test takers. And now in CMAT, we are seeing a 34% drop in test takers. That for me is shocking, which essentially means that there is a big question mark on any B school. If you're a good B school, you'll survive. But if you're any B school which is trying to cater to a market demand for people who could not get placed and want to create an MBA so that you can actually create a pathway for them, you are not likely to survive unless you deliver student outcomes, which is placement. Thank you so much. Namaste.